This is Realty Talk with Ellie and Gaelan. Welcome to Realty Talk, episode 40 with
Ellie,
Philip,
and Gaelan. We have a brand new guest today. Basically, the guy is our most loyal listener of Realty Talk, and in his words, harasses us when we do not have Realty Talk out when it should be out. We like to stay consistent. The last couple of weeks have been very chaotic, so we did them, but they're on different days of the week.
One of them we did it on Friday, which is
very weird.
Rare. Yeah,
that was the first time we've done it on a Friday.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, sorry.
For Philip's evening or morning or afternoon commutes, he likes listening. So Phil has actually been on the Gaelan Trombley show, first time on Realty Talk. So Philip, for anybody that has not listened to the Gaelan Trombley show, give us a quick intro. Why are you on a real estate podcast?
So I am in a different career than I had originally anticipated. I went to school for public administration, concentration in finance, and did not like that field. Ended up pursuing my real estate license, and I have very rapidly transitioned into being a full-time realtor, full-time and a half it feels most days. And I'm a loyal listener, as you mentioned, perhaps too loyal, podcast obsessed, and I'm very glad to be here.
Did you get a mug?
A what?
A mug?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And a shirt.
Random thoughts. Things just pop into my head.
Yep. I wore the shirt to the gym. Advertising, St. Lawrence University.
Can you get us a picture next time and send it?
Is that disloyal to my current firm?
No, I'd wear one for you. You're 3 hours away. Why?
Not true. Okay, I'll do that.
Give me a shirt. I'll wear a shirt.
Okay.
I wear shirts of all our local friends, and if they have stuff, I prep them. I rep them. What?
Can I see that for a second?
Yeah, pen.
And the paper?
Yeah, you're gonna.
I'm gonna write you a secret note.
Oh, ooh, look at this for passing secrets. No, Phil it does very well. He's out in St. Lawrence County. So basically what we're going to do is, I know what you're writing already. Or you don't even have to finish it.
Well, Ellie might need to see it.
Okay. But don't put it on camera. People can see that.
Oh, shit.
And he swears. Puts on camera, swears. Oh, God, it's going to hell in a handbasket. No, it's okay. We'll be fine.
Okay.
I will not talk about...
He just wrote, will you be my friend on it?
I won't... Well, no, but then he also wrote, don't talk about my pigs. I don't know what that means. So
I do want a pig.
So
they're pretty cute.
But Phil is out in Governor. Real estate agent. Well, he has a big big area. He covers a lot of geography.
You're not in Governor, are you?
Potsdam.
Okay,
yeah, but
that's not even close.
My office is in Potsdam.
Oh, well, there you go. So
that's like an hour trip almost.
I didn't even listen to my own conversation with him on
Well, it's all southern New York, right?
Yeah, no, he said it was western New York.
Western New York.
What? We're
Western
north
New York,
of you.
West of us, northwest. So, but he's out there. He's doing very well. You've been in for 2 years now?
Not quite.
Not even. That's
18 months.
That's insane.
Killing it.
With a bunch of newbies here, but no, he's doing phenomenal stuff. So, what we want to do is obviously bring him on. He's in town, so usually when you're in town, you let us know and we kind of hang out. I didn't do that today. I just actually saw you, but Ellie just saw him too.
We got dinner.
Oh,
yeah.
With Matt
And shots. Just kidding. We
Yep.
don't do that.
That's why she's a little loopy. Okay. No, but this is great. So our topics today, as you know, we just kind of rattle off some topics. Ellie, give us kind of what's been going on the last week since we've last talked.
80 KYP flag football event went off without a hitch.
Was good.
It was good. I can't remember
7
who
teams
won.
was good.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was a beautiful day for it. It was a lot of fun. People got very competitive, but it was fun.
I love it. Love it when people what's it called? Tussle.
A little bit of tussling.
A little bit of tussling. Pigskin.
But that's pretty much all that's new for me. I don't have anything
Jumping out.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Fair. And we have we want to mention this because this will come out tomorrow. Is the Wish Fund is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this tomorrow, which is Thursday the 24th, October 24th, all Ridley's starts at 5. Honestly, you can probably get through about 6. The silent auction ends I think around 6:30. The live auction starts at 7:15. Ellie, which you will take a picture of tonight and she will post tonight for all of you to see, did a really fantastic painting that will be auctioned off. I may or may not bid on it.
5 cents.
That was what I was going to open at. That was actually what I was going to open at. Thank you, Ellie, for giving it away. So maybe I'll go 6. But no, it's a very good photo. She's a very incredible artist, and I want to make sure you take a photo of that and post it because one of the things... Actually, we're going to start with this, Ellie. What is one of the things, and then we'll get back to our day-to-day and how we've been doing the past week. What was the one thing I sent? Did you get the text I sent yesterday that nobody responded to? Because Hannah said she got the text, and nobody responded to my text.
I did. I was waiting. I was going to talk to you about it today.
Nobody responded to my text.
You sent a group
so
text
then,
to like
so then I
bunch of
slept
us.
at 6 o'clock this morning. I get done the gym. I'm like, nobody responded to my text. So I sent it as an email because I know all of them get the email. Sure enough, they all
Sent it
email
to
me
4
back
of us.
separately, and then I talked to Hannah. Hannah's like, "Yeah, I got the text." I'm like, "So you didn't text me back?" It's an open forum, like nobody's going to judge each other, and it's an open text message. And same thing with our open Instagram, and same thing with our email threads. Like it's open, we talk. Like so, nobody's responded. So I thought I was having a mild stress attack that are
Sorry.
Like right now, my Google Calendar on both my phone and computer is not working. You just saw me with that dilemma. I'm very on edge right now.
I would need a Xanax immediately.
Yeah, because there's 4 or 5 appointments that I put in my computer today working, looked at my phone, not in my phone. Well, what do I need when I'm traveling? I go off of my phone calendar, which I assume is the same as my computer calendar, and it was not. So I would have missed a couple of appointments. But, Ellie, what did I mention in the email?
Post 5 times a week during the weekdays.
Okay, so right now we already got a problem, Ellie, because what did I say after I said post? What did I say before I said 5 days a week? And what did I say
how am I
after?
supposed to remember that?
So basically, what happens is this is where people get overwhelmed.
5 posts per week.
I challenged. Read exactly what I wrote, because what I did was I challenged every one of you guys to be
Post
more
at least
consistent.
once every weekday.
So read the exact.
You didn't. The word consistent is not in that paragraph.
No. Read what I wrote though.
I want to challenge all of you to post on IG at least once every weekday, so 5 posts per week. That's what I said.
But then keep reading.
But don't feel overwhelmed. Just 1 post per day. Be creative. Look for opportunities. Create a folder for extra folders. I think you meant photos.
Extra photos
that you can post in the future. This will make a difference for all of you in 2020. Promise.
So this is what I want to do, because my thing right now is.
Let the record show the experienced podcaster did that, not the newbie.
Hands are on the table. We cannot touch anything. No. So the one thing that Ellie posts very good posts. She's very good at it. Ellie's not consistent, which is my number one pet peeve with agents. 2 things with agents is actually 3 things with agents.
4.
3, actually 4. How many
Bitter
times are I go over
party
this?
when your table is
5,
right.
6. Dwight.
They're all Ellie.
7. No. Really, the top 3 things. Okay, is action, taking action, being consistent, and being patient. Those are the 3.
I'm good at one of those things. I'm patient.
Patient. Yes. Okay. But there's a 3-headed monster.
That was a mean look you just gave me.
No. 3-headed monster. I'm gonna actually write that down. So, but it's action, it's consistency, and it's patience. And the idea is you and most people are not consistent. And the reason I say the 3 things and why I say 1 post a day: action, consistent, patience. So when I say once a day, what do you automatically go to? And I'm picking on you. Is you said I got to post 5 times a week. 5 times a week seems overwhelming. But in the general scheme, it's like I want to close. Like beginning of the year, I wanted to close 57 deals this year. That's a lot on January 1st when you're looking at it. Guess what? I'm within seven of that, and I have over double that pending right now. So I will hit that goal. But I didn't look at the 57 and be like, oh my God, that's overwhelming. I got to do it today. I broke it down the steps. So when you say 5 a week, that seems daunting. If I say 1 post a day, literally you can be like, shit, I didn't post today. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Pick something and post it. Or go into your stock folder that I told you I want you guys to start doing.
I like that.
And post something. My stock photo has almost 500 photos in it.
I have
500.
but it's
now, there's a bunch from the
outdated.
Business Expo. That's probably like 100, and a bridal show, so there's probably 200.
Yeah.
But I have a bunch. But it's the idea, because once you post something and you tag, and I post something I tag, we can now cross promote, which I've talked about. So now if you, Courtney, Hannah, everybody posts once a day, then I have 4 extra posts a day I can put on my stories. Same thing, I'm going to talk about this at the team meeting next week, is about also utilizing stories. And I know you're not always able to do real estate, but you do some really good photos. Like you do some really good posts. You just got to be consistent.
That's my
Phil, same
my
thing
big
for you.
struggle
Even though
now.
you're good, more consistency.
Oh, I wouldn't call me good on that.
So now
I
that
like
I just
all of your posts. I enjoy following your stuff.
Well,
no, they're very good.
I have no problem posting necessarily. It's real estate related that I would struggle
That is 100% my issue. That's why I don't post as often, because I don't want to post every single day. I'm on Top Producer making my cold calls.
I think you should.
Because that's all I do every day for the most part.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is that people don't see is the consistency. Like I wish, and again, I take this from Gary Vaynerchuk, big guy. I follow him a lot. His thing, I've been following him for 9 years. He started putting out a vlog like 3 or 4 years ago, and he's put out like almost 600 vlog episodes.
Yeah.
We're on number 11 today. Shout out, we're on our way. But like almost 600. But you can see like every day, you're like, is getting to the point where you're like, this is kind of boring because he does the same thing every day. But what people want is like, what's the quick fix? He's like, no. I've been doing this for years. And that's what I kind of look at. I've been doing stuff for 9 years consistently over time. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see some momentum and it's going to keep compounding faster and faster and faster.
Do you ever feel guilt associated with your post though? And I mean that in this way. So let's say I had a showing marathon from 9 o'clock in the morning through 4 in the afternoon, which happens, and you have 42 missed messages, and you make a post. I don't want to be the client who sees me posting that I haven't got a reply to my message yet. So sometimes the reason I don't post is and I'll have a great post, but I'm like, I can't do this until
I completely empathize with that.
I've honestly never crossed my mind.
We're anxious people.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
You overthink it.
Yeah.
Well, like my thing too is if if a client reaches out and says, well, I see you're on social media, but I haven't got back, I will be honest with you.
My worst fear.
I would throw
No,
up.
but I'll be honest with them. Be like, yeah, I see your post, but I said, I can't take care of it right now. And I can send a post. My biggest problem with messages is if I do an email, I can automatically turn the email back to unread, which reminds me to go back and answer it. I cannot do that so what I do, I'll read a post, I'll respond to them, and then I got to turn around and either copy paste the thing in my email, or I literally just go in my email and I type in see so and so's post, or see so and so's text, respond to so and so's text, or send so and so what they need. And at the end of the day, I have all these emails lined up because I can't go back. I would love to respond to people and just swipe it back as unread to go back and check it, because I would know, okay, I have 10 things I get back to today. Yeah,
Who is that? Is that me?
No, it was me.
Nope.
It was me. But if I go on my phone right now, I think I have 14 messages on there. It happens. Like, I will get to it. But the thing is, and this is what I talk about a lot with being proactive work versus reactive work. Responding to all those messages is reactive work. They are important. I'm not going to sit there and just punt them and not respond to the people. But at the end of the day, if I get into the vicious cycle of responding to email, text, message, ding, 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 I will be stalled out for my career. So my thing is, what's important? I've recently started to get better at going to the gym and eating. So I'm prioritizing. I got a yoga mat here. Literally, nobody's here, for 10 minutes every morning. I do like stretches and stuff.
Good for you.
I admire that.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
So,
I
Ellie,
don't do that.
you've been proud, because when we talk about eating, I'm trying to track my food, and I'm like force feeding. I'm forcing myself to eat the necessary calories, because
Good.
you know me, I can go to 4 o'clock in the afternoon and not eat a thing,
Yeah.
just because I'm running around drinking black coffee.
Yeah,
so,
good.
But
I'm proud.
Thank you. But my prioritizing, like podcasts, we prioritize this. So like me, this is more important that we do. I don't say more important, but it's important for me to make sure I don't punt. I could say, listen, like honestly, I mean, how many times could we have said, listen, I got so much stuff going on, let's cancel the podcast? We could do that all the time. We don't, because I know as soon as you do it, it's a slippery slope. You lose out. You don't do you don't do the consistency that's going to slowly build and build and build. I just got back from the Plattsburgh State Career Fair. I spent 2.5 hours, more than that by the time you set up and tear down, 3.5 hours, maybe even a little bit longer, but prepping and tearing down 4 hours. And I mean, it was incredible. I mean, one is I get to network with other businesses. I get to meet people from all parts of the world. And we had like 15, I say 15, it could be more, that came up, signed out something that want us to contact them about potentially
That's
getting into
awesome.
real estate. I thought nobody would actually do that. We put it out there, maybe get 1 or 2. Like, we had people sitting at our booth talking to us for, 10, 15 minutes about stuff.
That's great.
That's awesome.
But the thing is, I could have punted. I could have said, listen, I'm going to cancel. I got so much stuff going on. I got this, the donations for the Wish Fund. I was very bad at it this year because I've literally had 1,000 things going on over the last month. We have the Agent Open next week. We have the Homebuyer Seminar the week after. We have events that we're planning, but I could have punted one of those events. But no, so we're putting the time into it. So for the messages, I don't get back, I guess coming full circle, I don't look at that. Like, I'll get back to people, even worst case on the, late tonight or right before I leave, I'll respond back to stuff real quick, and then I'll go back through and check my messages. But the problem is, if you start punting off your posts, what's the detriment? The detriment is you have to, and the thing is, if clients reach out and say, listen, like, I do a lot of stuff throughout the day, one of it is I have to do marketing. So that is, to me, that you got to put
Very
that,
true.
you got to put that on a pedestal. And it's not to say I don't care about my clients, but most things for most clients and agents is not super time sensitive. Every once in a while it is. If you have a closing in an hour, yeah, it's time sensitive. If you're asking me about a home, you can wait for a couple hours. If you're asking me for an addendum, honestly, you can wait till the next morning. Like, there's not a lot that's going to be done. Banks and attorneys, 5 o'clock, they're done.
Yeah.
Good luck. So if I have somebody contact me 6, 7, 8 o'clock and there's a rush priority on it, if I do it at 7 o'clock that night or if I do it at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, guess what? It's not being dealt with until the next day anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very good at that. Like, usually about 8 to 9 o'clock, I'm like not responding. If somebody texts me at 8:30 at night, depending who it is, because what happens is if you text them at 8:30, they now expect you to answer,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden it's text. So it's like, no, I got it at 8:30. Yep, 9 a.m. the next morning, I'll text you back, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll get that for you today. Nothing's happening at 10 o'clock that night. You know what I mean? So I would post. Like, just post it. Honestly, if you have a client that bitches about you posting a photo, you can fire your client. Like, it's a great world of real estate. Like, you literally can tell your client, I don't want to work with you. Like, I've done that. I've had clients, I'm just like, I have clients with listings. Like, honestly, you're a pain in the ass. I'm out. Like, you're too much stress for me. It's not worth putting up with you. I'm firing you. And you can do that in real estate. It's cool. It's a cool thing. I mean, obviously, it gets better as you have more time into it. Like, you put up with way more shit earlier in your career, and then you get to the point where it's like, I can afford to tell somebody I don't want to work with them, you know?
Yeah.
But, sorry, enough ranting on my part, but anything on that?
No, I mean, pretty much everything you say is true. I just need to get past, I like have to have my posts have to be perfect, and I can't, like Philip said, I can't do it if I'm not responding to someone yet, because I get very stressed out about the idea of them seeing that and thinking I'm ignoring them.
No.
And not most of the stuff that goes on in my day might be housing related, but it's not real estate related, and I feel like a poser just posting selfies or pictures of coffee, because that's most of the time when, if like, I don't know what to post today, I'm gonna take a picture of my coffee.
Well,
because
post like mindset stuff. I mean, I posted some of that stuff, and we're starting to kind of get a little bit of that. But even post like, hey, you know, it's kind of a gloomy day today. You know, what are you guys thinking today? Like, I mean, just you got to be creative, and a lot of it could be nothing. Be like, hey, there's me with my plant again, like, or you know, whatever you post, plant, coffee mugs, like stuff that you post. But just take a selfie and just be like,
its name is Bert, and the other one's Ernie.
Okay. Nerd.
So it's going to be like Bert and Tom. I was like, oh, those ones I would know.
Bert and Ernie. Yeah, there you go.
Bert and Ernie
from
Sesame Street.
So
you don't know Sesame Street?
Wait, what? I mean, I didn't watch Sesame Street, but you got to know Bert and Ernie.
They're the puppets.
I know Elmo.
One's really
and Big
long,
Bird.
and one is really round. So I have a little round cactus
Are they
and
red
a
and
tall
blue?
Cactus.
No,
I don't remember.
Yellow.
They are
yellow with red noses.
Yeah.
One wears stripes and one wears.
Yeah, they're like I think they're a couple, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think they're the gay of Sesame Street characters.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
I mean, they're not like actually put out there, but like they're that.
Yeah.
Just like Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumbledore was badass. So he had a fucking wand.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, oh yeah, put a wand on him. He also had some jelly beans that were the gross jelly beans, vomit, and what was it with the other stuff? Remember he gave Harry when he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ellie never read the books.
No, I read all the books. I read them all, and I've read them in German and English.
Oh wow!
So I am an ultra fan.
All right. Nerd. So why don't you do some posts in German and have people have to go to Google Translate to figure out what you're saying?
I'm not as fluent as I used to be, and I don't want to like
Guten
have
Tag.
it look bad.
Do you remember when Tom Felton used to come to St. Lawrence County?
Yeah, to go fishing.
Yeah, he stole my place in the bathroom once.
No way.
Yeah, good times. He owns property in Madrid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tom Felton?
Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes up to fish. I did not know that he owned
It's
property.
hunting.
How
or
old is he
stole
now?
a bathroom
He's
from
probably
you.
my age, right? 30 or so? Because he was about the same age when they were
I would say so.
Because
I think so.
Harry, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, they're all my age. Because I remember when they came out, we were the same, like literally the same year. And they were always like, it was kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
He owns property in Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do now?
Whatever
Where's he from?
wants.
Where's he from though? Is he U.S.?
England, I think.
Is he
Yeah,
English?
they're all UK actors for the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have...
Have you met him? You said, right?
He used to come every year.
And like he's like cool dude.
For the crappie
Well,
fishing
aside
tournament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not crappie, the carp.
Oh, I thought it was...
I thought you meant crappies in low quality.
No, I thought it was...
Because we have the Bassmasters
Wait, isn't there...
No, well, maybe in Black Lake.
I've said that. No, okay, that's what I'm talking about in Black Lake.
Yeah.
It is
carp is on
it's called
St. Lawrence.
crappie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
yeah.
if I said it wrong my whole life.
I always think Ellie's from Black Rock, not Black Lake.
Lake. Yeah, my
Because
parents live right on the lake.
Black Rock's a good OAR song, and I like OAR, so I'm always like, you're from Black Rock, right? And she's like, no. Black Lake.
And Jane Fonda's mom is from Ogdensburg, and she comes back every year.
No way.
You know, Victor Mortensen went to St. Lawrence County.
Yes, to the university.
Yeah.
Yep.
Comes back for alumni stuff.
And Kurt Russell, super famous actor from the...
Herb Brooks.
I don't know that one.
Miracle on Ice, 1980, the Miracle movie.
Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Grace Potter went to SLU.
No way.
Did she?
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of we get quite a lot of people in SLU.
Bougie place.
You know who
Very
hates?
bougie.
You know who hates SLU?
Clarkson people?
John Jett.
Yeah, that's right. He's gonna take my name. My fiance. We used to work at the bakery. I used to manage it.
He's pretty
nice.
funny. Like he starts making fun of him. It's good.
Yeah, it's just Parents' Weekend was a nightmare.
I bet.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
Oh, I was like, was that my phone?
My Tesla.
They rent my house during Parents' Weekend, though, so I'm not going to complain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, your big house?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a...
So where do you go? Where do you go from?
Well, it varies every time. I'm possibly in the process of buying my childhood home to do as a second Airbnb, which will also give me a place to go during those weekends, because I will only rent out my house for an obscene amount of money, but St. Lawrence University parents will pay that for graduation weekends, parent weekends, actually Bassmasters too.
Yep.
So if you added up what I've made from rental income from that property just on those weekends, I effectively have had no mortgage.
That's incredible.
That is awesome.
So I can't complain about St. Lawrence too much.
I can't wait to Airbnb Philip's house when I go out west.
Good
When I go to
Lord.
Western, when I visit Western New York.
Yeah, you gotta swing by Park Bros and get yourself a hoodie if they have them.
When's
in
the
your
next time
size.
you're going?
Probably
Not the hoodie. I want the crew neck.
Oh, that's what I meant. They don't. I don't think they have hoodies. Probably over the holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Let me
I
know.
look every time I go.
We'll just message the dude and be like, "Listen, like I'll Venmo you cash. Just throw it
He's
in the
my
mail."
neighbor.
Is he?
Which
Yeah.
one?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Yep.
Okay.
They live just
Don't
a few down
be-
the street.
Talk to Ryan. Tell him I want the same one that she has,
Will he remember?
size large. Cause I'm gonna get bigger, and I'll Venmo money.
Okay.
I'll Venmo you money. Just buy it and ship it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I look every time I go in. I haven't been there in a while though. So.
The coffee's good though.
Oh, their coffee's phenomenal.
Park Bros.
Yeah, they roast it right there. In
I might go
Potsdam.
out do a podcast with them, hang out with Phil.
I asked them about the podcast.
Would they do it?
Oh yeah.
They said yes,
We
but
don't.
then they ghosted me.
I
They
see it all the
ghosted you.
time.
Like they don't talk to you anymore.
No, they do talk to me. They all message. Ryan especially will message me sometimes and just.
I like Gabe too and his
I-
adorable family.
Gabe is the night that he's like a second father to me, even though he's not that much older than me. But when I was moving out here, they had me over for tea a bunch
Oh,
of times,
nice.
and the loveliest families.
I sat with them at a
We're
wedding
like,
recently.
we're like English here. You just said, what did you say? Then you're like,
Tea and the loveliest
tea
family.
and lovely.
Well, they are. And we played a game. I don't remember what it was
Talk
called.
about Draco
Like a
Malfoy.
card
It's all
game.
English.
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very
Very proper.
Westminster of you all. Right?
Well, we are from the West. so-
Buckingham. Well,
I'm gonna get Gaelan a map of New York State. Like north, west.
well, it's kind of like upstate New York, like upstate Westchester, and like Western New York, Malone. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, last year I was talking about the North Country, and you said this is the North Country, and Potsdam's not the North Country.
Wait, is Potsdam? It's not really. It's like pretty much west, straight west. I mean, you can argue that
It
it's
is
like
North Country, though.
you can argue. No, it is like North Country to me is like anything like take basically the Adirondacks, cut them, and go straight up.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I
So
think
like
that's
if you're
fair.
if like I would still say North Country. Like, is Alex Bay still considered North Country?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would think
absolutely.
like I think it is. I
would
don't know about
say
you.
Watertown, maybe a little
Yeah.
south of there would be the cutoff.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then
Because I mean, like Sandy Creek, that's pretty North Country.
Yeah.
So if you go straight across from Watertown, geographically, how much lower is that? Is that like kind of Lake Placid level with us, Willsboro level, or is it a little more farther like Queensbury?
I would say pretty level because you have Route 3 that cuts across like through the
Yeah.
Cranberry Lake,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
I've never taken that ride.
it's pretty.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I bet it is, especially right now.
Well,
No.
a lot of the leaves are off. It's still
yeah,
pretty,
you're right.
but-
We're past peak.
Yep. Still pretty. Don't get me wrong.
There was a
but-
gorgeous tree in Plaster State that was like beautiful yellow. Plaster State's weird because they have a lot of trees that really hold their color for a long time. It's a really cool campus in the fall. Okay, since we haven't really talked about anything real estate, anything. Well, we did a little bit. What do we got real estate wise, Phil? Like give us like sum up your year, sum up what you're excited about. Because we talked a little bit about real estate on the podcast, but like I mean, talk real estate
goals.
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 Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
What's all our goals for next year? We'll get into a little bit more, but yeah.
When Ellie and I were at dinner, we started to talk about goals, and I'm like, wait, stop, podcast. So And she was saying, well, I won't speak for her, but she wasn't necessarily satisfied with her tracking on her goal.
Okay.
So my goal, I told you it would make you feel better. My goal for year one was $1 million in volume. I hit $448,000. So I didn't even get halfway there. So you're doing real well. And then my goal for year two was 3, which I thought was, 3 would have put me above where I was at St. Lawrence County. And I thought it was unreasonable because it was like a million times more than what I got year one. I'm more than twice that.
That's
so
awesome.
Once you start full time and you're
you've
on
gone
that
from
trajectory,
400,000 to about 6 mil.
If everything goes to plan, I'm probably going to come close to 7.58 by the end of the year.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
And full time made a big difference. So hopefully that gives
I'm
you a little.
I can think of a handful of deals that didn't work out because I don't just, yeah.
But
we'll
get
there.
ready to cry when your accountant tells you how much you owe in
I
taxes.
don't want to think about it.
Because you probably pay quarterly, right? So I don't have to this year because last year I made squat for income. So I had my meeting with the accountant. He's like, yeah, your effective tax rate's like 45%. I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be up there this year.
I almost cried. My accountant, true story. Eyes welled up. I'm like, but such.
You know what happened? I tried to pay my last quarterly tax, and the 15th was a Sunday, and I tried to do it Thursday, and I tried to do it Friday, like before. The site was down. Couldn't do it. So then I tried, I'm like, fuck, I'll try on Saturday. Doesn't work. Still didn't work. Didn't work till Monday, so I sent everything in on the 16th. They sent everything back. They literally they wouldn't accept the day late. I'm like, dude, your system was down for like the 4 or 5 days leading up to it. So now I got to kind of plan that out a little bit. Because I mean,
will they fine you for that?
No, I mean quarterly. I mean, if you pay your quarterly, you don't have to pay. From my understanding, is you don't have to pay your quarterly taxes.
Oh, I thought you got a penalty per my accountant.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Oh, I hope.
Because I think quarterly tax is just a way to plan. Like if you pay quarterlies, you're just estimating you're paying it. I think it's just more of a budgetary kind of thing. Am I wrong on that?
I would check
I feel
on
like
that.
his accountant might.
And I'll be pissed if I am because literally I was on the damn site for. Now it's funny because the only one that sent it back, I think, was New York State.
Oh, okay.
The one the which is less than my federal. My federal one I actually spent. You got to pay more into, and my federal one I think went through. They were both paid. Maybe not. My other one I think was paid early. The New York State one was down. And it was down for like 5 days leading up to it. And then all of a sudden it was like part of it was the weekend. And then I went on Monday and of course it was working.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. So, no, I'll fight it if there's an issue with that. Because I'll be like, listen. Like,
It's not your fault.
I mean, I don't know how I can prove that the system was down. But like check your record. Your system was down Thursday, Friday. At least Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday.
Well, there's no way you were the only person to experience that if that's the case. So,
yeah, so if it was, hopefully they give me a pass. But, yeah, I mean, I try to plan out quarterlies. The good thing in our business is the write-offs do help because that brings you. I always pay off my. I pay off my gross. I always pay tax estimate off of my gross, not counting what I write off. So when I write off, my hope is that anything that I overpaid will be kind of deducted from there. It's hard to regulate in our industry with taxes because I always get money back. Luckily, because I always overpay my taxes. And I've heard like tax people say, well, you shouldn't be getting that much back. You should plan out a little better, which I agree. But I'm also like kind of, I get nervous that I'm going to underpay. Mm-hmm. And my thing is I'd rather overpay, get a good 100%. Chunk back than all of a sudden, oh, by the way, you owe $8,000-$9,000 in taxes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I did not plan for that. I mean, I can pay them, but it kind of, puts a damper on some plans. So I'm always overpaying because to be honest, I don't want as much back as I get because I wish I was a little closer, but I'd much rather get that much back than underpay. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll talk about that more because you're kind of your first year doing it. This year won't be a big deal, but as you get more into it.
This year's going to suck for taxes.
On it. Do you find your goal, so for 2020, I already have been thinking about goals, and it's not so much volume, it's work-life balance to an extent. So this summer, the wheels were off the track. It was from sunrise to 11 o'clock real estate. I don't need to make $1 million. I mean, obviously I'm nowhere near $1 million, but I want to enjoy next summer.
Yeah.
I want to make good money and I want to serve my clients well and I want to, hit a good target and feel comfortable, but I don't want to kill myself again to hit some arbitrary number. So I think I would like to start thinking more about, okay, I enjoy listings more than I enjoy being a buyer's agent in some cases. So try to do more listings and fewer buyers. Be more selective with the people I work with. A referral can make a big difference to somebody who's starting out. A $70,000 deal it's great. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but the amount of time and stress that entails sometimes wouldn't be worth it, and it could make a big difference to somebody else on the team who really could use that. And then I am a little bit more sane through the summer. So my goal is not necessarily any volume number, but get that balance a little more in check and like enjoy life. And because Lord knows, I'm going to be 27 next year.
Old man.
My eggs are drying up.
What we had talked before about, like, I work a lot. I enjoy what I do, so like it doesn't feel like crazy, but there's times I just feel overwhelmed because I take on so much, and not from a bad standpoint. A lot of things are happening, but success brings success. So as I get better opportunities open, doors open, things I don't want to pass up open. I mean, I have 2 young kids, which makes it tough because like now I'm like looking at the clock. I'm like, I got to get home and cook dinner, and that's literally why I'm like running out. Otherwise, I'd work here till 9, 10 o'clock at night with no problem. Like I have plenty of work I can do. We talked about appraisals. We talked about inspections. I would punt that to the, as far as you can, meaning don't go to them. You don't need to. If you have nothing going on, sure, you can go to them if you want. I mean, the benefit is far outweighed by the time you're wasting, I think, or you know what I mean? Like what you're wasting in time wise does not make up for what you can actually change there. You're not going to change if an outlet doesn't work or something's not up to code. You being there is not going to change the result. Don't go. If you can't change the result, you shouldn't be doing that task. Negotiating, meeting with buyers, meeting with sellers, that stuff to me, you have a direct impact on the result. You don't have it on an inspection. You don't have it on an appraisal. Could someone argue that you could sway the person one way or the other? Maybe, but they're professionals. They're going to do the job no matter what. It's not like you talking to the appraiser is going to get the value higher. And if it does, then the appraiser's not being truthful and honest as to what they should be doing. So to me, you can save a lot of time right there.
And that's 15 to 20 hours a week this summer.
That's insane.
Because each is about 3 hours long.
Yep.
And on average, you have a few of those.
I'm telling you right now, that number one, stop. Like from tomorrow, like if you have one tomorrow, call and cancel. Say, I'm not going. Like sorry, my nose is like, I'm fighting a cold.
Allergies. It's the weather. I feel the same way. Yeah.
It's allergies. But I would totally punt that. And like I said, get more consistent on real estate. Like I would challenge you 1 post a day, real estate, like 1 post, and one because you're busy enough to do it. You know what I mean? There's no excuse for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ellie. I mean, I get it. Just a sec. Like Ellie is not doing stuff full time, but she should easily be able to do 1 post a day. I try to do 4 posts a day. Like part of the stuff that I'm doing, I think I have 3 right now. I'll post 2 or 3 right now. I'll post so I'm going to have anywhere from 3 to 4 today. And so, but you know what I do? I put my phone recurring reminders every day in Google Calendar to post. And I tell what to post. Okay, you're going to post a caption video. You're going to post a quote video. You're going to post a testimony. You're going to post a merch picture. You're going to post just a random photo that you take. You're going to post.
Okay, you're going to be mad at me, but I actually have those reminders, and I just I clear them out.
So this is like a habit Ellie's got to break. Ellie, quit smoking. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things. Like she's got to break this hitting the snooze button thing. So, but it's the idea of just being like for you finding time. My thing is like, what have I punted the last 2 months because I've just been crazy busy? Is working out and eating right and stretching. So what if I like literally? I'm like, you know what? I've gotta really prioritize that, and I can't keep punting that. I can't keep hitting the snooze. I can't keep. Well, not I hit the snooze button, but I'm saying like I can't keep, deleting that task every day. Literally working out is on my schedule every single day on Google Calendar, and I went 9 weeks without going. So for me, I wasn't following my own calendar that I set for myself, that I have it very structured. Now, my mornings are structured, but as we know, as soon as the day gets going, our day gets going when it gets going. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying, like responding, like my phone's off, right? Not off, but it's on do not disturb mode. I was at 14 text messages before I sat down. I don't know what it's at now. It's probably 17, 18.
That doesn't give you anxiety to think about that?
No.
I mean,
it does, but I also got to take a step back and say, I got to prioritize stuff. So like me, this This morning I had probably a 45-minute meeting internally with Nicole, going over stuff. I could have easily said, Nicole, listen, I got so much stuff. I got to respond to emails, respond to texts. I got to prioritize that and say, what am I doing? I'm going to talk to her because that's stuff that we need on the business aspect to help grow the business, and the back end stuff that we need to work on to become better. And then it's like, now I'm going to react to all my stuff, and I go through my emails. I take the word from you because you said this very good, is triage what I'm doing. What's my critical thing I got to get done? Text messages, a couple of them came in. They're not super time sensitive. I can get back to them in 3-4 hours. Would I like to respond right off? Sure, but I think people realize that, and I'm starting to get like agents will reach out and be like, "Hey, I know you're busy," and like I am, like I would love to text you right back, but I like me responding to one of your texts is not on my high list of priorities right now. If I'm running out to show a property and you're texting me for some reason, I know I'm showing your home, I'm going to check it. It's probably a reminder about something. But you asking, "Hey, did you check in with your client about when's the earnest money deposit coming in?" I can respond to that later tonight.
Ooh, that gives me a good question for you. Okay, so in the era of digital signatures, do you do those?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say...
Like 99% of the time. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So let's say you have a listing and somebody puts an offer in on the listing who you are also representing, but they put in the offer not in your physical presence. So when do you take the earnest money? For me, traditionally, because I go to inspections, my policy has been, I'll take the check at the inspection. What do you...
They have to be in from this executed contract. They're supposed to be in within 3 days.
Okay.
So my thing is, this always killed me. So when I first started out, and you had to get contracts, this will blow your mind, Ellie, because it blew my mind how we were so far behind the times, is that when I was to make an offer on a property, one, we had to physically get the contract signed. So it means you had to meet with a person, or you had to fax it or scan it to a client to sign it, fax and scan it back, which could take days, could take hours, could take, people aren't fast doing that. People don't have the means to it. Hey, I got it. I won't be able to, I'll have to go to someplace and send it tomorrow. I have to go to Staples to send it. I mean, this is literally like what happened. Then agents would be, every time they did a counter offer, they would cross out, write the new stuff in, initial, change, then they'd send it back. So like a counter could take a day. And then it was like, oh, I got the counter. And then I go back, cross-change. Like this is how I roll on all my contracts. Because I'm one of the ones, I just hate inefficiency. So I get a contract. I send out on .loop to somebody. They sign it. They send it back super quick. I get it to the agent super quick. I do not... Back in the day, we had to get a check. I had to make a photocopy of the check. I had to put the check with the file to make an offer. The offer's not even accepted.
Oh, we don't do that.
Oh,
this was up to about 3 years ago until we got
Wow.
.loop. So then I would get a check from, Ellie's a buyer. I'd get a check from Ellie to make an offer on a home. If the offer doesn't get accepted, just void the check. Well, why are we collecting a $1,000 check for escrow? So what would happen is I get a contract. I send it off to, I do have a pre-qual letter because they need to see that, or proof of funds. I send it off to the agent. Then if we're doing any kind of counter offers, there's still some like old school agents that will cross stuff out and send it to me. Like, dude, you guys are freaking behind the times. Like, just give me the verbal. I will put the initial contract in writing. Then we will go back and forth verbally. And then once we have the verbal contracts accepted verbally, if you're the buying agent, make the changes. If I'm the buying agent, I make the change. If I'm the listing agent, I make them make the changes. Get me the contract completely as it's agreed upon. Have them re-sign it. I send it to my clients. I'm very much, if we have a verbally accepted offer, I will put it pending. Like I will do that because at my thing, if you're giving someone your word that, and people, yes, can they back out? Is there attorney approval? Yes, they can do it. To me, that's bullshit as to do it. To me, once you tell somebody that you're accepting the offer, to me, your word is stronger than any piece of paper. Like that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
That's not the case for everybody, unfortunately. But my thing is, if you have an agent, I tell them, like, listen, we verbally accepted. It's your house, and I'll put stuff pending before I have a contract in hand because I trust that you're going to get me the contract. So then I get, and maybe I'm naive, but I look at it as I should be able to put trust in every party involved that they're an honest person. Then I get the contract. Then once the contract's accepted by every single party, signatures on every party, then I will reach out to my client to get an earnest money deposit. And then I get it, and it will give it to the agent in 3 days. Sometimes it's a little bit later because honestly, I don't have time to go drop the earnest money deposit off at your office. Agents will be like, where's the money? I'm like, listen, they dropped it off today. I'll put it in the mail. Well, can't you just drop it off the office? You can come to my office to pick it up if you want, or it's going in today's mail and you'll get it tomorrow or the next day. Like, I know you're 3 minutes across town, 4 minutes across town. For me to drive that, get in my car, drive back, there goes 15 minutes of my day. You're stuck at a light, stuck in construction, stuck at finding parking. No, I will spend the 50 cents, drop it in the mail, even though I know it's a mile away, and it'll get to you. Because, I mean, my biggest challenge is time. Mm-hmm. It's time. I mean, that's all it is. We joke about it, but I wish there was 48 hours in the day, because I would fill those 48 hours, but I would get a lot of other stuff done because I could prioritize.
That'd be awesome. Or no sleep. I wish I didn't have to sleep.
That's another thing. But I'm forcing myself to go to bed at 10 so I can wake up at 4:55.
Do you have any sort of sleep measuring device?
No.
It'll change your life.
I know. I just go to bed.
I get such a rush of joy when I look at my phone in the morning and it's like,
you use Sleep Cycle?
You got 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Sleep Cycle?
I use.
Because Sleep Cycle, I was using that.
I think that's what I have.
Sleep Cycle's cool because it'll wake you up a half hour before your alarm
and it wakes
clock.
you up slowly, so it's like
it wakes you up when you're at your best peak to wake up.
Yeah, that's what I have. Sleep Cycle. I love Sleep Cycle.
Yeah, so based on your movement.
Auto
sleep.
And it's affiliated with this thing.
Is it Apple Watch? Yeah. So,
that's cool.
But the Sleep Cycle, like if I put down my time I want to wake up is 4:55, it could wake me up at 4:25, but it might say you're better off waking up at 4:25 than 4:55 based on your sleep cycle. Even though you slept half hour less, you got woken up in a lighter sleep.
Yeah.
Because the problem is you get woken up at a dead sleep. That's when you feel groggy. Yep. I got to get back on that, but I haven't been using it.
I haven't either, but it is helpful.
Yeah, I'll say like you slept good. Now some of it's probably a little off, but the waking part I actually notice works.
I imagine if you used it, like if you could sync it up to a watch, it would be very useful because it gauges off sound. So you put it on the nightstand. So if you are someone who just like doesn't move around a lot, even if you're awake, it doesn't know you're awake. I feel like with a watch, it would be more.
It does motion and heart rate. So if your heart rate goes up above your sleeping resting rate, it says, "Oh, you must be awake."
Yeah. That's so cool.
I mean, it is true. Like,
if you're me and pee 3 times in the night.
Well, I don't pee, but I roll over 1,000 times throughout the night. My neck's stiff, but I'm really trying to stretch right now. Like I'm getting big onto
That's very good.
mobility and stretching because I used to do it a lot and it felt great. And the last 2 years, I felt extremely sore a lot, and that's basically the last 2 years I haven't been stretching. So I used to be I was fairly flexible.
Like, you put his feet behind his head.
I would pop and
knees by my head.
That's not that hard. Knees by your head?
Behind my head. Because it's farther back than your feet. Your feet can reach first and then... Lick your elbow, Ellie. Shut up. So, Ellie's like... I don't think you can do it, Ellie.
I can't.
Last thing... I really got to go in. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about quick, because and Phil goes, what's the secret thing you guys always talk about that you always punt? It's Zillow. Is Zillow good or is Zillow bad? Zillow, to me, a couple things. If you have a listing, Zillow is good because it gets your listing out to a lot of people. The bad thing about Zillow is the information is not the most accurate because it's pulling off of our MLS. Last week, to prove my point, last week I had 2 people reach out to me about 2 different houses. Both were wrong on Zillow. One of them was off, but it was land. Zillow had it listed as 50 acres for $30,000. It was 30 acres for $30,000. I checked the county. I checked the MLS listing. They were all 30. Zillow had it down as 50. That's a big jump. I mean, when you're talking about price per acre, that's a huge jump. So that part's bad. As a buyer's agent, same thing. People go on, I want this house, this house. I'm like, well, that home's sold. That home's pending. That home, Zillow doesn't update as quickly as possible.
And then they get mad at you. They're like, well, why is it online? I don't know. Ask Zillow.
Well, someone talked to me yesterday. Why did Realtor.com change the price of the home? I don't know. I have no control over Realtor.com. It's not. I believe it's more accurate than Zillow, but it's not the most accurate. So if you want the most accurate information, contact a real estate agent or a licensed real estate agent, salesperson, whatever, that will get you hooked up with the MLS because that's where everything is truly accurate. Now, when it comes to Zillow leads, you've had very good success on this. My problem was we went on. The only reason I would actually contemplate going back is because of the success you've had. And the problem is when we were doing it, it was great. The price per lead was X because only so many agents were on it, so many premier agents, and the call would come in and they would leave a message and you would get them and you'd call them back when you could. So now what Zillow switched to was Now anybody can be a premier agent as long as you're willing to pay. So it's not based on merit. You a year ago were not a premier agent. You now would be a premier agent. But and I remember 3 years ago I took a screenshot of Zillow. The 3 agents on it, one's out of the business now, one is awful, is a really bad agent, and one of them is a fairly decent agent, but 3 years ago this person had almost no deals. I mean, they were like one deal. They were all listed as premier agents. Past sales, 0, 0, 0. I know one had been in for 6 months, one was in for like 3 months, and one was in for a year. Like that, and I'm like, how are you a premier agent? There's really, I could go down our MLS, there's probably, I would say 20 people that I would consider premier agents, and I would really even argue top 10 would be premier agents. Because you're talking premier, you're talking like the tip of the iceberg, and I don't think a lot of the agents are that. So to me, it's a premier agent's a bullshit title. It's a bot title. But with that being said, now that everybody's spending money, the leads aren't increasing. So what happens? The cost per lead is now deflated. So it's gone up and up, because if you were getting 70 leads a month from Zillow, which I think is probably high, 50 leads a month from Zillow, 30 leads a month from Zillow. This is like real numbers back then. Well, now if 10 agents are fighting over 300 leads off of Zillow in a month, okay, now what happens when there's 300 Zillow leads, but now there's 25 agents? The price goes up per lead. So we were finding that, okay, this doesn't make sense. And what's going to happen is Zillow is going to slowly push that out. And then what are they going to do? They're going to raise the prices. And then they're going to say, okay, sorry, Zillow's going up to, an extra $50 a month. So what's going to happen? A couple agents will drop out, and a couple agents will justify the costs and pay, and Zillow will make more money. Because they're not providing more leads. They're just going to start charging you more for the leads so that people can jump out and be like, well, see, you are now paying, $50 more a month, but we're also giving you 20 more leads. Which, trust me, that ratio right there is worth the extra money per month. But what's happening? They're not increasing leads overall. They're taking out people that are paying for the leads. So now it looks like you're getting more leads. Well, no, these leads were there before. They're just giving out to more agents because more agents are paying. And now also when Zillow calls, it's like a chain type thing. Like they'll call a bunch of agents. Like if you don't pick up the phone for that lead, it's going to the next agent that could work at another company that's paying the same amount of money. No offense, I have a hard time answering my phone during the day because I'm busy. Like,
absolutely.
And it's not that I won't get back to you, but it's like if you need me like this second to answer the phone from Zillow, if I'm with a client, if I'm doing the podcast, if I'm talking with somebody one-on-one, I'm not going to be like, hey, hold this, I got to take this lead. That's disrespectful to the people that I'm dealing with face-to-face, that honestly that lead could go nowhere, and I have a living, breathing person in front of me that wants to talk real estate. I'm taking that person 100,000 times every day. You know what I mean? So that's my problem with Zillow. Now you've had what's your experience with it? Because I just shit on it for 3 minutes. And
so specifically with the leads, I would say it's quite positive. I really should dedicate an hour and go through the deals I've closed this year and put in, okay, these are Zillow closed deals. This is commission that resulted from those, and this is what I paid.
You should track that at the end of the year. I did it last year. It's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, here, if I think of a few, very much a good return on investment. Mm-hmm. And the thing that has started to happen recently, I've started to get listings from Zillow. I don't know if it's people who just look in their community to see, okay, who is representing the most homes. Maybe they don't look at signs, but people who call me direct from Zillow and say, hey, we see you do a good job with your listings. We like your descriptions. You take good pictures. Mm-hmm. We'd like you to list our place.
That's awesome.
Yep. So it's been both on the buying and the selling side, which I like. The other thing that should also be a goal for me that I like about Zillow but I don't use, there is a CRM on Zillow Premier. Mm-hmm. I don't use any CRM. Horrible, I know.
Okay, so number 2, we'll talk about this. If you're not using a CRM, you're running so inefficiently.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm going to say that right now, so keep going.
So they make their
I'm gonna do a makeover of Philip's gonna have a whole new outlook on real estate.
I support
let
that.
the man talk.
I support that.
Sorry. I gotta jump in because I'm gonna forget if I don't. That was a big thing I had to mention. Sorry.
Yeah, well, the CRM is huge, and I totally understand the reason to do that, but I don't know which one to pick, and so you'll tell me. But I'm sure I would be far more efficient. And let me tell you the other thing about Zillow that I don't take advantage of that a CRM would really help with: the nurture leads. The ones that this person is actively looking, they haven't decided yet. If I had a list of 10 people, which I'm sure, frankly, if I go through, this will make you vomit. If I went to my Zillow Premier,
You talk about anxiety about not checking text. This is giving me anxiety right now. I'm being so like, ugh.
I shouldn't even tell this. I have 160 Zillow nurture leads on here that I have not done with.
Send them to me.
In St. Lawrence County, you want them?
Send them to me, and I'll give you the referral fee when they go back out to you.
If even 10 of those turned into clients, that'd be another huge bump.
Would you say 180?
160. Totally unread, just nurture leads. So that's people who...
10% of leads are good to go now. You have 18 deals there.
I'd be
and then about
swimming in gold.
And I would say about 30% of those are future business, and you'll probably have 70%. 60% of those would be no good. So really, okay, take 60 out. Okay, so you're dealing with a pool of 70 to 80 buyers.
Take 60 out? I'd have 100.
No. Take 60% out.
Oh, okay.
So you're probably talking about 70 people, roughly. I'm going to round down. 70 people. I bet you out of those 70 people, like I said, probably 15 to 20 are going to buy probably within the next year or two. And the other ones, the other ones out of the 70, I would say a solid 50 of those will probably buy within the next 3 years.
And I've got emails, I've got phone numbers, and it's just untapped gold.
So how do you manage your contacts, your clients' contact information, when you follow up with them, what deals are working on, your notes for each client? Excel,
and I just have a little notebook. Yeah, I know. And I'm Mr. Millennial Technology.
That gives me anxiety too.
I'm like ready to like. You're talking about my calendar not syncing. This gives me Philip.
So, but really,
Philip. Okay, keep going.
I do need to do a CRM. I totally acknowledge that. Okay. So there's a lot of untapped potential there. But what I'm saying is, I have been successful at Zillow not even using the nurture leads. The only ones that I really, frankly, pay attention to are the ones that I get via the phone. Or if I get what they call a direct lead, which is somebody who, if they see my listing and they send me a message specifically to say, I'd like to see this house. Mm-hmm. Okay, you get my attention. But if you just send me a nurture lead saying, hey, this person is looking at a bunch of properties. Okay, that's lovely. Bye. So I need to start doing those.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that. Anything else, Ellie, you want to talk about? Because I really got to get out of here.
I can see the steam coming from your ears.
I should have been home.
I pissed Gaelan off at the end of this podcast.
Friendship over. Yeah.
And now we're going to go to...
He's going to lay in bed all night just like, all those leads.
I'll give you my password to Zillow and you can have them. Clean it out. Get it down.
Do you want me to... this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to nurture his leads. Then I'm going to say, I'll give you a 25% referral fee on all the ones that you sell.
You make bank.
I'll make a lot of money next year. I'm serious. If you want me to call those people, I swear to God, I will do it.
Really? Because I'm not kidding.
Do it right now.
Like, I can nurture your leads for you for a 25% referral fee, and I'll send them all back to you when they're ready to go.
Deal. I'll sign the contract tonight. Write it up.
You're not even near me. I'm not joking. We'll do that. Actually, no, we're not. You're going to get in CRM and you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to stop. So, know what you're going to do? You're going to stop going to bullshit inspection and appraisals, and you're going to take that time to prospect your clients, because guess what? You're not going to call them every day, so you're going to call them over time, and you're going to nurture these leads, and now you'll have more time.
So we don't have to talk about this on podcast, but someone suggested a specific CRM, and I wanted to discuss it with you.
Okay. So I really do have to get out. I hate to. We honestly could talk for 3 hours, and I wish we could, but I do have to get home and cook dinner.
How long have we been talking?
53 minutes.
Ooh, is this a record for Realty Talk?
It is.
Twice.
Oh, yeah.
I think we hit 30 once.
Probably, yeah.
I think it was once that we hit 30, and I think I actually hit it at 30. Now it's just me and Ellie talking. Office quote of the day.
I could have grown poison mushrooms that'd be this high by now.
It's Creed, obviously. Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight. He was mad about wasting his day.
So, what was one I watched the other day? Actually, this is kind of jumping. Oh, do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I saw they have one on Spotify now with Pam and Angela. Yeah. I haven't listened to it yet, though.
Yeah, they go through every episode. So
that's awesome.
So right now they just did, and they're going episode by episode. They just did the pilot, and now it's Diversity Day, number 2.
I didn't know that's what they were going to
be doing. And
they're
doing it every week. They're putting out a new episode. So they watch the episode together. And you don't see them watching the episode.
I'm going to listen to that in the morning now.
You don't see them watching the episode, but they go on and they talk about the backstory. Like, oh, remember this person? First pilot, they're like, they shot the... I'm not going to tell you. I just listen to the episode.
Okay.
Office quote. Okay. I can't do what Ellie says. Just say the quote and say guess it. So This is the Christmas episode. Phyllis goes into Jim's office, and she goes, Jim, you said I could be Santa. Jim goes, that's what I want. Don't make me get Bob involved. What's Bob going to do? I shouldn't have said that. Remember that episode where Michael came in, he wanted to be the double Santa, and then he started yelling.
And then Bob comes up at the end of the episode, and he's like, Michael, what is all this? And
Phyllis
is like, I'm sorry, it's all better now.
and Michael had to dress as baby Jesus.
Bob and Phyllis are goals. Forget Jim and Pam. They love each other and they have nasty sex.
Freaks.
But on the Valentine's Day when he kept sending her...
when they finally started eating their fries because they're like, they're not coming back.
and Kevin's like, that bear is bigger than me. And the delivery guy's like, no, it's not.
Oh, man.
All right.
Bob
Philip,
Vance,
do you want to do a different kind of quote?
I don't have any cool off. I don't watch any of that.
It doesn't have to be The Office.
Just say that's what she said.
My favorite quote is Margaret Thatcher, so that's pretty boring.
No, it's okay. I want to hear it.
Do you know who Margaret Thatcher is?
I do.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Thebomb.com. She had she slept never. She had this quote that was something to the effect of, think of a day in which you're supremely satisfied. It's not a day where you've sat around lounging and doing nothing. It's a day when you've had everything to do and you've done it.
Love it.
I love that.
True.
That is a good quote.
It's much more articulate coming directly from her, but something to that effect.
That is a very good quote.
The more you do, like, each day, the more satisfaction you get.
That's true.
Like, the harder, it's kind of like the harder the climb.
It's easier
kind of
to sleep when you've done all your crap, too.
Yeah.
I had this discussion last night.
That's my easy way of saying.
But I had this discussion last night with Matt Craig. Like if you want to try to hit the goals, like if you want to say, like, I want to be the number one agent, like, I don't want to be the number one agent because someone didn't perform well or took a year off or whatever. It's kind of like playing a sporting event. Like, I don't want to go play in a sporting event hoping that, like, the star player in the other team gets injured and we have an easy game. Like, I want them to play the best game they can play. I want to play the best game we can play. So it's like everybody's giving their best and then the best person wins. Like, that's what I always look at in, like, business. So when people are, like, caught up on, I think I posted this yesterday from Gary Vaynerchuk, was the idea that, like, don't focus on other people and think that they're taking from yours, like he calls yours, but don't think they're, like, taking something away from you. He goes, like, support other people because at the end of the day, there's a lot of abundance in the world. So I always focus on, like, what I'm doing, what we're doing as this office, and I really don't care what other people are doing because at the end of the day, it does not affect me. Like, my effort, my consistency affects me, and anybody in general that goes above and beyond to follow other people or follow people cynically. Like, I follow people for motivation, but for, like, ideas and things like that. But if you're following people to, like, hope that they mess up or hope that they screw up or hope that they don't put out a good post or have a good closing or don't double in a big property, like, it's a losing mindset. So,
Yep.
All right. I really got to go. Philip, this was awesome.
Yes, thanks for having me.
First time. I know you have a long trip back and it's late, so get some caffeine in.
I'm going to have to listen to the Matt Craig episode.
Get some. It's out now.
Yeah,
it's out. Okay. It's out. We had a good talk.
Good.
We talked about Sober October. Matt's doing well. I'm sure he talked to you about.
Did he talk about shitting in any buckets like he did in his last podcast?
He did not.
That was one of the best podcast moments ever of any podcast I've ever listened to. I had tears rolling down my face.
We had some good ones. Matt Craig's an open book. So, but I think we're going to end there. Episode 40, titled "Philip Joins Us." If you guys are looking to buy in Western New York, aka Northwest,
St. Lawrence County,
middle of the state, latitude line 46, about 2 hours west of us, even west. So you go with Malone. You're my Malone guy now because I'll send stuff to you. But if you're out that side of the state, reach out to Philip. I'll try to put his handle and stuff in the show notes. Follow him on social media. He's going to be posting one time a day real estate stuff. So will Ellie. And I think that's it. Anything else you guys want to add? We all good?
Peace out.
Peace out.
Deuces.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.